What's up everyone, my name is Tim from OnlineTeacherDude.com. I'm a hiring coach for online teaching companies and a business coach helping online teachers scale to the next level. If you're interested in online teaching, go ahead and grab this because it's going to be very helpful for you getting started in this industry. With the recent crackdown rumors of China coming down on companies and tutoring agencies that are providing English language lessons for children in China, there is a great concern in the industry about whether or not our jobs are stable. And I'm not going to get into that. You can check out this video if you want to see my live all about my thoughts on that and the current updates in the news. But I'm going to be talking about companies that are operating outside of China that might provide you with some additional hours, some daytime hours, and a little bit more security as you venture into online teaching and build your business. One of the things that you do need to be aware of when working with companies outside of China is that the pay is not always going to be the best. Most of these companies definitely pay less than Chinese companies do, but if you're looking for something else, looking for some different options, and perhaps just looking for some daytime hours to fill in the gaps or to add to what you're already teaching, then these companies are a good option for you. I made sure to check that they are in fact hiring, and I spoke to teachers who are actually working there. So let's take a trip around the world and start with the beautiful country of Korea. Now, there are lots of different companies in Korea that are providing online ESL language platforms for students and hiring teachers around the world. But I wanted to focus on a company that really stood out to me as being one of the good ones, and this is Nil English. Nil English is a very small company based in South Korea, and they have students ages 4 to 70. You can teach via platforms like Skype or Zoom, and they provide the lessons for you, but you can also bring in your own content to the lessons. They are very flexible, and they really put a lot of trust in you as the teacher to teach the best way that you know how to teach. So they give you a lot of autonomy and a lot of flexibility in the classroom. Let's look at how to get hired with Nil English. You need to be a US or Canadian citizen with a native English accent. You also need to have a bachelor's degree or be working towards one and show proof of that. As well, they like to see a TESOL or TEFL certificate. You can grab the one in the description below for around $20. And they like to see that you have some teaching experience. Now let's look at the pay. When you start teaching with Nil English, you're gonna get $1.50 for 10 minutes of teaching. So, over the course of an hour, that is $9 an hour. It's really important to know that while that does seem very low, there is a lot of opportunity to increase that base pay. And within 3 months, you can get a raise and work up to $2.50 per every 10 minutes of teaching. Works out to be about $15 per hour. The hiring process is really simple. Just apply with the link in the description of this video, fill in the form, and you will be contacted if you are chosen for an interview. It's very casual. It's really about getting to know each other. There's no teaching demo or anything like that. And then if you're chosen after the interview, you will go through a training process where you will learn more about Nil English, the platform, how the classes work, and get all of your questions answered. The hours that you can work are between 6 a.m. and midnight Korean time. That doesn't mean that you're gonna always get bookings during those times. Peak hours are 5 to 8 Korean time, but you can certainly get classes before and after that. With Nil English, you can work with adults or children. Nil English is looking for teachers that are really wanting to build up a consistent schedule and have regular bookings with regular students. They're very flexible, they seem like a great company, and they really give you, the teacher, a lot of autonomy in your classroom. Again, if you're interested in Nil English, check the description box below and click on the link and fill in the form. Okay, company number 2 that I want to talk about and highlight are Cambly Kids. I have done a video before up here all about Cambly, the tutoring platform where you can tutor adults. Cambly Kids is a part of that, and you can apply to be a Cambly Kids tutor directly or once you already are a hired Cambly Kids tutor for adults. It doesn't matter. So if you're interested in Cambly Kids, you can make sure that you specify that in the application form with the link in the description of this video. Now, Cambly Kids is hiring right now, and their booking rate is incredible. From what I hear from teachers, there are lots of bookings to be had, and they really are needing more Cambly Kids tutors. So keep this in mind if you are interested. They are worldwide, which means that you can get students from all over the world, not just in China, but in all kinds of other countries, which means that you can really open up your schedule for any time of the day and have a chance of getting bookings. The great thing about the requirements are that there basically aren't any. You just need to be over the age of 18, be a native English speaker, and no degree or experience required. So this is really great if you're someone that doesn't have a degree or you don't have previous online teaching experience and you want to apply, you certainly can if you're a native English speaker. Now let's talk about the pay, which is what most people are wondering about. Cambly Kids pays 20 cents per minute, which means that over the course of 60 minutes or an hour of teaching, you can get up to $12 per hour. As for the application process, again, really simple. Let's look at it in a little bit more detail. First step you're going to do is fill out their basic information on the form. You're then going to complete an internet connection test, which is done on their platform. Then you're going to create your tutor profile. Make sure that you select I want to teach kids on your tutor profile. And then the last step is to record your short intro and demo video for Cambly Kids. Again, the link is in the description of this video to apply. For company number 3, we are going to fly over to the beautiful country of Japan, where we're going to talk a little bit about Engoo. There's been a lot of buzz about Engoo in some of the Facebook groups, and a lot of teachers are seeing this as another really great company to work for outside of China. Engoo is a Japanese company based in Japan, and their students are not only in Japan, but you can also get students from Korea, from Taiwan, and I've heard of teachers getting students from other countries as well. Very similar to Cambly, they operate 24/7, so you can get students at all different types of times during the day, depending on your schedule. And they're very flexible as well. There's no minimum hours required, and they look like a really great company to work for. In terms of their hiring requirements, similar to Cambly, they need you to be a native speaker, but they also do hire near native speakers. So they do have a program with a lot of Filipino teachers there. Now, for the pay, Engoo pays $5 for 25 minutes of teaching, which is basically $10 for an hour of teaching or 50 minutes of teaching. They do have a bonus, I was told, of $50 if you are able to teach 160 classes. So once you reach that 160 classes, you will get a bonus of $50. In terms of the hiring process or the application process, very simple. You're going to apply. They then will invite you to a Zoom session. This is rather long. It's about 3 hours, I was told. And within that, you're going to get some Q&A time, some information about the company, and they are going to ask you to teach a 15-minute demo. Just show up, bring your best energy, all your teaching props and skills that you know and use best in the classroom, and go for it. Apply, and then after that, there will be a paperwork stage, a training stage, like most companies, and then signing your contract and opening up your slots. Also, I was told that you are paid for no-shows, which is really great. So if you have a no-show, you will get paid. So for company number 4, we are going to take a short flight from Japan over to Hong Kong. And I've heard about this company before. They're a small company. They are called Starkid. So Starkid is based in Hong Kong. You'll be teaching students from Hong Kong, and their requirements are as follows. You need to have a bachelor's degree. You need to have a TESOL or TEFL certificate. You need to have some teaching experience, and you need to be a native English speaker from the US, Canada, or UK, and potentially other countries as well. So if you are a native English speaker from another native English speaking country, certainly apply and you may be considered. They also like to see that you've had some prior online teaching experience. So I think they're a great company if you're a teacher with one of those big Chinese ESL companies. They are certainly an easy one to add on, and they definitely like to see that you've had that previous online teaching experience with another company. Their hours are very similar in terms of Beijing peak hours, but you are able to teach that extra hour that we might have lost, or that you might have lost when Chinese hours changed and we weren't able to teach that last hour of the day for Chinese students. All right, let's look at the pay for a minute. It's not just a simple pay scale. There are a few added bonuses that I wanted to go over with you. So you will get $10 for 30 minutes of teaching, which is not unlike a lot of the Chinese companies. Actually, a little bit higher, to be honest. One of the bonuses, if you show up on time with no tech errors, you get $1 per class. Another bonus is if you convert 3 childs, you will get 50 cents per class. If you convert another 3 childs, you'll get an additional 50 cents per class. And if you convert 20 students, you'll get an additional 50 cents per class. So all together, you do have a potential to have a max pay of $25 an hour. Starkid pays once a month via a platform called TransferWise. You can get a link to get a free transfer in the description of this video. I use TransferWise all the time for incoming and outgoing payments. They have great exchange rates and great transfer fees as well, much cheaper than a lot of other places like PayPal. So Starkid is a small company and they hire based on need and demand. So if you apply right now, there may not be the demand that they expected, and so you might have to sit and wait for a little while before you hear back from them. Just keep that in mind if you are applying. If you don't hear back right away, it doesn't mean that you're not being considered. It just might mean that they're not exactly needing teachers at this very moment. So their hiring process is very similar to other companies. You're going to apply with the link in the description of this video. You're going to submit your resume. You're going to submit a 5-minute demo as well, and then they will invite you to a live interview. So after all of that and you're accepted, you'll go through the similar kind of training process that most companies take you through, uploading your documents, and then finally signing your contract. So now we're going to travel over to Poland for company number 5, which is called Fluentbe. And the reason why I'm including Fluentbe in this list of companies is because I wanted to have a European company that I knew were hiring and that paid a decent wage, definitely not the best one in the industry, but you know, comparable to other non-Chinese companies. So let's get into talking about Fluentbe. So with Fluentbe, you are teaching mainly adults. They do have students on the platform as well, but it's mainly adults. For their requirements, they do require you to have a bachelor's degree, to have some teaching experience. They hire native English speakers, and they also hire native Polish speakers as well. I couldn't find a very clear description on exactly where you need to be from to apply, so if you're a native English speaker, then go ahead and apply. In terms of the pay, they state that they pay between $10 to $12 per hour, but this seems to be a little bit negotiable, and so during the hiring process, you can certainly try to negotiate for a higher base rate pay. In summary, I think that because of the potential for the hours, I think they're really good. Being in Europe, you could really work some separate hours from your Chinese company. They are very flexible, no minimum hours required. They allow you a lot of autonomy in the classroom as well, and they look like a good company to check out. They're very well established, and they are slated as the best online ESL company in Poland. All right, for company number 6, let's head over to South America this time and look at a company called Open English. Open English has been around for a long time. They're very reputable in the Latin American market, and they're a fairly large company and one that I've heard of a lot of teachers working for. And some have given positive feedback and some have given negative feedback. Again, there's no perfect company, and so you do need to find what works for you and give it a go and decide whether or not you want to continue with them. But if you are looking to teach South American students in that time zone, then certainly Open English is definitely an option that you should consider. In terms of their requirements, very similar to other companies, they require you to be a native English speaker. They require you to have a TEFL or TESOL certificate. You can get the one in the link for this video. And they require you to open at least 10 hours of availability per week. This is a downside for many people if they don't want to have a company with minimum hours. As well, if you have some conversational Spanish, then this will definitely help you with the hiring process. In terms of the pay, not the highest, but not too bad. They claim to pay up to $15 per hour, but most teachers say they get between $10 and $13 per hour, and they pay via PayPal. All right, and some of the key features for working with them are that, of course, you are teaching Latin American students, although there are students from other parts of the world as well. The hours are 24/7, but your peak hours are going to be in the evening for the Eastern Standard Time Zone, so depending on where you are, you'll need to do a little conversion there and figure out what that means for you, but most of the classes happen in the evening times for Eastern Standard Time. So that's it, everybody. Some non-Chinese ESL companies that I recommend, that I have spoken to teachers who work directly for them, and sometimes in a few cases I've spoken to the company itself to make sure that they are in fact hiring. If you are a new online teacher or an online teacher that's looking for other options, do grab this free course that I have, which will give you a lot of resources for online teaching and just places to go to look for these types of jobs that are not just the big ones that we know about in China, but are actually worldwide. And really, there are a lot of opportunities out there if you're willing to put in the work to look and to do a little bit of investigation. So thank you for joining me in this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Leave me a comment if you've got any questions.